Hey, what's up guys, Riff here. So today's video is going to be focusing on related developments regarding this game right here, Lords of the Fallen, and an uprising in their related subreddit. The developments we're going to be looking at are honestly an inevitability where we have a full-scale rejection of DEI and wokeness across the board. However, there are small pockets of individuals who just won't accept this change, and they are doing everything in their power to fight back and resist as long as they can. Now, what we're going to witness involves this subreddit where the CEO has been ousted from his own game's subreddit because the moderators there believe that he is a fascist. Now, of course, it's the year 2025. That word has lost all meaning, and that'll be reflected in the accusations they have made against him because the reasons they claim he is a fascist are laughable at best. So we're talking about Lords of the Fallen here. This game was released in 2023, and despite some issues technically when this game released, it's been trying to hold on for quite some time and has done something that a lot of games haven't been able to do, and that's after having a pretty much flat line of player numbers, getting a resurgence about a year after this game's release over the past couple of months where the concurrent player number has pretty much doubled, which is a very rare thing to see. Now you can see right here there is a big shift in October of 2024, and over the past couple of months the number of players has steadily increased. Now one of the reasons for that change right here is because of the words of the CEO of CI Games who made Lords of the Fallen, Marek Tyminski here, who said this back in October. In response to the ongoing industry conversation, we have updated one of our core company values. Diversity and inclusion is now equality of opportunity, better reflecting CI Games' commitment to being an equal opportunity employer. Our focus remains on fostering a culture of best talent, ensuring that all hiring decisions are based solely on talent and merit with no other external agenda. That is a very great thing to see, shifting away from diversity and inclusion efforts that simply work to discriminate against people and also tell minority groups that they're not good enough to earn a job on their own merit. And now we're focusing on a different shift, and that is meritocracy. If you are someone who is qualified for the job, you have a good shot. Everyone, no matter what their background, has an equal shot, and now it's just about who is the best skilled person for the position. That is a great change. Now, of course, you ask yourself, are they acting on these new goals? Are they just making up nice words that people want to hear? Or are they actually following through on these efforts? Well, I think this post from about an hour ago really shows that they're following through on this, because Marek has had to basically formulate a response to an insane situation taking place on the subreddit of his game, Lords of the Fallen. So he says this: the everyone is a Nazi thing is getting really boring and out of touch. Truth always wins in the end. Trust is built through authenticity and transparency, not by shifting narratives. Players first. And you can see the beginning of this headline from their own moderation team saying, addressing the CEO of CI Games' politically motivated agenda. Well, you know what that politically motivated agenda looks like that makes him apparently a fascist in the eyes of these people? Players first. That's what this is all about, right? So for the last couple of months, Marek has been going on a campaign, doing something that is so rare nowadays, it almost seems novel. And that's going around and asking gamers what they want. What do you want to see in your games? And then seeing those results, they're going to try to implement those things. Yeah, I know, it seems like an absolutely outrageous thing to see nowadays, but this is a really good effort. And here's some examples. We've looked at a few of these before. A very simple idea here, that they're asking people that they're going to reject DEI. It's done. And now based on that, let's hear what you want in our games, and we'll improve our own games now and in the future. In this poll we've looked at before, where he asked, in a medieval fantasy action RPG experience, what do you prefer to choose between? We will follow the final result. And you can see 50,000 people voted on this poll, and the results were very clear. Male or female options represented nearly 89% of those 50,000 votes. And the modern audience nonsense of body type A and body type B, 8%. And that was actually what Marek and Lords of the Fallen were going with in that game. And as a result of that final poll, they have changed it. They saw the results and said, big update, Lords of the Fallen 2023 now gives you the choice to play as male or female, live across PC, PS5, Xbox X/S. This is a response to 88% of 49,500 players who voted for that. Players first, always improving, always adapting. A man of his word. And there's other polls as well, saying should lead video game characters be widely considered attractive/aspirational by the vast majority of players. 84% said yes, and 13% said I don't care. So basically, if you make an attractive character, the only people who have an issue with it is 2.5% of players who probably don't buy games anyways. And that was based on 11,000 votes. And then there was another one recently about how should attractive lead male characters look in an action RPG. And oh, would you look at that. After 25,000 votes, 51% said rugged and badass. I know this is a very crazy system that me and other gamers and YouTubers have been saying for a long time. If you want to have a very good shot at having success with your game, do two very simple things. Make appealing female character designs and make badass male character designs. That is pretty much a recipe for success at this point that many people in the industry just don't want to follow, but the results are clear, and through his promise, Marek and his team, they want to follow through on these results and have it reflect in their current and future titles. It's a very good thing. Now let's go to that subreddit. This was posted 14 hours ago. This is an insane situation where you have moderators essentially hijacking a subreddit of a game and kicking out the CEO who helped create that game. This is pretty unprecedented, but really represents a big shift in Reddit right now. Reddit's always been woke and crazy, but now they're getting very desperate with the turning of the tides in many different aspects of the world right now. So let's read this official post. Announcement addressing the CEO of CI Games' politically motivated agenda. Direct links to X, formerly Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram are no longer permitted. This has been happening all across subreddit. Pretty much every subreddit now bans direct links to X because they're so mad about the shift in culture over on X and that they can't dominate it with any sort of a liberal voice that they're used to on places like Reddit. But let's continue. Opening thoughts. The CEO of CI Games, Marek Tyminski, is actively supporting and promoting fascist ideology under the guise of catering to the player base. As a moderation team, along with many gamers worldwide, we are deeply shocked and disgusted by the events of the past few weeks. So they're describing him as a fascist, promoting a fascist agenda, and they're shocked and disgusted by what's happening. What I showed you in those polls was pretty much all he said over the past couple of weeks. Anything else is very simple replies, nothing controversial, nothing even covering a potential controversial topic. So they are basically saying his attempts to give gamers what they want, and by the way, based on those polls, what the overwhelming majority of gamers want based on a democratic voting process is somehow fascism. That if he follows through on what they want, he's a fascist by catering to the overwhelming majority. Do these people know what fascism is? Of course not. It just means people who disagree with them, but we already knew that about Redditors. But anyways, in response, we have removed all CI Games and Hexworks officials from the moderation team. They've booted everyone out from the official sources here. However, we want to make it clear that those removed are honorable and decent individuals, and we have nothing but respect for them. Every interaction we've had with them since the game's launch has been nothing short of extraordinary. Unfortunately, this decision affects the wrong people because you chose to make it affect the wrong people. If everyone in this whole scenario, except for the CEO, as we'll see, are great and extraordinary people, why would you punish them in addition to the CEO? That makes no sense. I mean, what does this sound like? Booting everyone out who disagrees with you? Or even shares a room with someone who disagrees with you? That sounds like fascism to me, buddy. But anyways, they say our concerns are directed solely at the CEO and at this time, no one else. Over the past several weeks and months, we have seen a significant increase in hate speech, misconduct, and violations of Reddit. Guys, I don't use Reddit. Is this a real thing? Tell me this is like the biggest Chungus move ever here. Like, this has got to be like even laughable among Redditors, which is really saying something. Like, please tell me, like, there's no way people unironically use the phrase Reddicate. Anyways, violations of Reddicate. Whenever content from these platforms is shared, additionally, we have experienced an influx of users spreading fascist views, both on the subreddit and via mod mail. Of course, they provide absolutely no evidence of any of this, and based on the way they're talking, it sounds like all of this stuff is just people disagreeing with them or having different political beliefs. Let us be clear, we do not tolerate any violations of our behavioral rules, nor do we condone or support fascist ideology. Anyone engaging in such misconduct will face a permanent ban. You can find our subreddit's rules here or in the sidebar. Why are we banning these platforms? Well, while the rise in misconduct related to X, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram is a key factor, there are additional reasons for this decision. X, Facebook, and Instagram now require a login to view content, making it inaccessible to those without accounts. The spread of misinformation, disinformation, and propaganda has significantly increased. These corporations have actively enabled fascism, removed fact-checking measures, censored certain keywords from search algorithms, and silenced communities while allowing harmful rhetoric to thrive, which basically means opinions I don't agree with. We refuse to support platforms that profit from misinformation, hate speech, and incitement of violence. How will this work? Any direct link to X, Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, whether in posts or comments, will be automatically removed. What about screenshots from these platforms? After consideration, we have decided not to allow screenshots from these platforms as verifying their authenticity is difficult. So basically, this subreddit, along with infinite other subreddits, have completely crippled access to information by removing any links or screenshots to pretty much every other major social media platform out there. This is like an isolationist social media platform now. They do not accept any sort of sources from outside places, which, by the way, in terms of gaming subreddits, you're pretty much removing any sorts of links to relevant information to the game. So you're pretty much crippling any flow of information to Reddit, which is kind of what these people want. They want to live in a little bubble where nothing can challenge their views, and that's exactly what they're doing. It's such a boneheaded and stupid decision. I hope Reddit collapses. At this point, how does anyone support Reddit? This is happening across the board. They have gone absolutely mask off. They've made it very clear this is a very woke website, and they will not be accepting opinions, not only that disagree with them, but opinions that come from platforms they don't agree with, which is pretty much every other major platform. This is embarrassing beyond belief. But what they ended here by saying, what's next? These new rules take effect immediately. Alternative to X/Twitter, Blue Sky. Blue Sky is a great alternative, and many users and outlets have already made the switch. Blue Sky, without a doubt, is the biggest woke echo chamber that exists on all social media platforms. Blue Sky is an absolute joke, okay? Anyone who unironically goes over and spends all their time on Blue Sky, have fun. But just know you are in the biggest woke hive mind echo chamber you'll ever experience. It's even worse than Reddit. Blue Sky is where every single wackadoo, activist, game developer, games journalist, and so on and so forth goes to basically go around in a giant circle jerk and say that, oh, we're the majority despite everyone rejecting everything we stand for on a massive scale. They don't want to see what people have to say on platforms like X that have opinions saying things like DEI is garbage and nobody wants it. They go over to Blue Sky and well, suddenly everyone loves that stuff. And that's exactly what's going on here. And this post reflects someone spurging out, a group of people, moderators having a power trip because someone said DEI is not good. Diversity, equity, inclusion does not help our hiring process. Gamers, we allowed them to vote on what they want publicly. They said they want this, we're going to follow through on it. That is what scares people like this because it doesn't fit their agenda, and it doesn't fit their agenda to the point where they hijack their own server of the game that they're basing this on, right? And then they're kicking all media platforms off. They're basically crippling their own server because they just can't accept that someone out there would have a different opinion of them, and to them, that different opinion and different approach to making games is fascism. These people are pathetic, okay? Absolutely pathetic. This subreddit is embarrassing, but it represents a site-wide problem for Reddit. But anyways, you can see their whole approach here. Can't go to all these platforms, go to Blue Sky. Well, how did people react? Well, as you can see, there is no upvotes. They have not secured a cumulative plus in their updates, and they have over 200 comments. It's going over really well. So let's read some of the comments. You know what really is fascism? A small minority trying to dictate, censor, and control the majority. Bingo. The fact that you guys can't see the irony in this makes me believe you're not all there upstairs. Not only what he said, not fascist, you guys perform a hostile takeover because you disagreed with his opinions, your rules or else. Reddit mods never beating the stereotypes. Absolutely not. And they say, this user says, can you share a single screenshot of actual fascist behavior from Marek? Or is this just about the male/female and literally nothing else? I don't get it. I'm pretty left-leaning, and this still seems incredibly stupid unless you can show evidence to back up your claims. And thank God for individuals like this. I love people who can see the forest from the trees and say, despite my leanings, I want to know the actual evidence of what's being accused here. So like, we should always do this across the board, no matter where you stand politically. If you're hearing wild claims about someone like this, you should ask and press for actual evidence of that alleged behavior. But anyways, another person would say in response to that, same here, and I think this post by the mod team is an overreaction that borders on parody. This person says, I'm out of the loop, and I'm too lazy to research on what's going on. Can anyone tell me the TLDR, what's going on? Thanks in advance. Let's see what someone says. Reddit mods being fascists. Ding, ding, ding. That's all you need to know. And in response to all this, you can see Marek here reporting this only a few days ago, or about, let's say, a week and a half ago. First 3 days of their latest Steam promo, crushing our high-end forecast by 10%, 10+%. Huge thanks for the amazing support. It means everything. Enjoying the game? Drop a quick Steam review. Not feeling it? Share your thoughts too. Every word helps us improve. Wow, what a fascist approach, allowing people who have a dissenting opinion to speak? How dare you, sir? Reddit would be very furious. Now, what should Marek do in this situation? It's ultimately up to him. But if I was seeing a subreddit essentially hijack the related subreddit based on my game and kick me and my entire team out and basically want to continue on by silencing pretty much every opinion possible, I would probably just DMCA them. Like what business do they have trying to make a community in spite of your game and you as a person while making wild allegations against you? Why would you have the right to create that subreddit based on the IP like that? I think they should take action to get rid of this, because obviously these moderators do not have the best interests of not only this game, but also the community in mind, because nobody's agreeing with it. It's just an echo chamber of the moderators who must have thought in their brilliant minds that everyone must agree with us, right? Well, clearly nobody does, and now they look really stupid, and they've ruined the subreddit. But as always, you have a developer here in a game and a CEO trying their best to make something out of this game and future games by listening to players. I think that's something commendable. So if you want to check out Lords of the Fallen or any other related IPs from this studio, go ahead and do it. You have my definite approval there, because I think what they're trying to do here is something that should be rewarded and given a second chance and an additional look, because they're dealing with unreasonable people, but overall the majority of gamers are liking what they see here, and maybe, just maybe, this will spread across more people in the industry. But for now, that's going to do it for this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comments section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.